Welcome back, everyone, to the Complete Pineleaf. I am back here with Bingo Boffin and Kuthbald, the horse trader, and it looks like we have one more potential candidate, the small pony here. Perhaps Bingo will be more comfortable riding this one. What do you say?
What do you think? His name is Tanglemane.
I don't usually keep ponies, but this fellow came into my possession after a raid by the orcs, and I have yet to find an owner for him. What do you think of him? His name is Tanglemane, but you could call him anything. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with him. Well, this is promising. Yes, quite promising. Well then, what do you say, Bingo? Oh, you're smiling. Does that mean you're being able to work with this one?
His name is Tanglemane. It suits him quite well.
Yes, this pony isn't scary at all. He seems to be well tempered, and I dare say I could walk up to him without fearing that he might bite me. He is rather hobbit sized, if you ask me, and I think that is just the right size. Tanglemane. It suits him quite well. I wonder how many coins Cuthbald will ask in order to part with him. Well, we'll see. What do you say? How much?
Tanglemane is an incredibly picky eater. If you can feed him, you can have him.
I'm glad that Bingo likes him, and to be honest, I have not had much success finding an owner for Tanglemane, so I'll be pleased to let Bingo have him for free. I do have one condition, however. Tanglemane's an incredibly picky eater. He will turn up his nose at almost anything. If you can find some food around Harwick that he'll eat, I will let you have him for free. Otherwise, I'll have to refuse. You understand, I'm sure. Find some food around Harwick that he'll eat, and it'll be all yours. All right, fine. I'll see if I could find some suitable food. You have any ideas?
I wonder what food Tanglemane will eat.
All right, I'll see if I can find something then. Food. Suitable for a horse. Now, I figure that if he only liked to eat grains such as oats, they wouldn't have noticed any trouble at being a picky eater. So let's try something like apples. I know some horses like apples. I know Bingo doesn't like apples all that much, but perhaps Tanglemane won't mind them. Let's try. Ah, here they are. Hello, try these. Hey, it looks like he likes apples.
Looks like you found his favorite food.
I've never seen this pony devour anything as quickly as he ate that apple, friend. It looks like he found his favorite food, and it looks like as if Bingo has found himself a noble steed to carry him through Rohan. It's been a pleasure doing business with you two, and if you happen to put in a good word for me with anyone looking for horses, I'd appreciate it. All right. I'm sure that good word is what he's charging.
I am delighted to have met Tanglemane.
Yes, Tanglemane must truly be the Bingo Boffin of the pony persuasion, Pineleaf. Small, friendly, and a picky eater. He likes apples, which is perfect, because I can't stand the things, as I believe I've told you before. He can have every apple in Middle-earth as far as I'm concerned. We will make a great team, I can already tell. We won't covet each other's dinners. Yes, there you go. Nice and mounted. Feeling all right up there?
I will do my best to stay a saddle while we go to our next destination.
It did not take long, but I have already become quite fond of Tanglemane. He is a gentle fellow and very friendly. The ground does not seem to be very far down here, and while I do not wish to take a tumble, if I did happen to bounce from the saddle, I believe I'll be quite all right. And he seems to have no interest in nipping my hand or my person, which is very much appreciated. What a good boy you are, Tanglemane. Cuthbald shared something of the geography of Rohan with me, and I think our next destination should be the town of Cliving in the Norcross, to the southwest. I will concentrate on staying a saddle if I can fight. If you can fight any foes that cross our path, Pineleaf. Let us defeat enemies of the Wold and of the Norcrofts as we journey, and in that way our presence will be a boon to the good folk of Rohan. Right. Well, while you do that, I will have to do some other duties. What's it? Twickenberg, where I have to go? Oh, yes. We also have this little series of quests, the ones by Bernolf, son of Baldeg.
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
Hail and well met, Warden. So, you've come recently yourself out of the north? Perhaps you encountered the Easterlings my companion Hutha warned of? Oh, yeah, I've run into Easterlings quite a bit. Yes, the Kundalar, they say, are descended from the terrible horde that descended upon the fields of Celebrant in the days of Cirion, steward of Gondor. Earl the Young led the ancestors of our people to the field in answer of Cirion's call for aid and won the day. As reward for his service and friendship, all the lands of Kelenarthon were given to Errol and his people, and it became what is now known as Rohan. Now, these Easterlings threaten our borders once more. My companions and I seek to warn the Reeves of the Eastament of the impending invasion and encourage them to muster for war. Our final destination is, of course, Adoras, but for now, we have a task to complete. Perhaps you'll have mind us letting us your aid? Alright, fine. I'm hoping that these people already know about the Easterlings, seeing how Langhold was already destroyed by them. I'm sure Chil- Chillin over there has already. Is she still around here? Well, she may be at the manor right now. But if you speak with Chilin, she could tell you how much of a problem the Easterlings are because her town's been destroyed by them. There is much to tell.
We were dispatched by Lord Aomer to harry the orcs roving the plains of the Mark. But what we discovered in the Brown Lands was truly terrifying. Now we ride through the Easternet on our way to Edoras, warning the Rees of the Easterling horde marching upon them.
Our mission is dire.
Ah, Pineleaf, my road has not been an easy one. Ooh, not an easy one. My father, Baldig, is a high-ranking retainer in the employ of Thane Sparhach. My dream has been to become a great warrior, but my father would have none of it. Nevertheless, I have found ways of training into arms, and by my 16th summer I had proven myself in battle. Begrudgingly, my father allowed me to become the Thane's Barstow Squire, and 3 years ago, anyway, when word came of the troubles of the orcs in the Eastwold, Lord Aomer offered me a small command in the commission here. We met Hutha in the northern borders of the Wold and brought me here to the cousin Twig in Ethberg. You should speak with Hutha, and he's probably going to speak as quickly as I did. What? No wonder I don't know these stories all that well. They speak so fast. Good grief. You plan on speaking just as quickly? Oh, boy.
Thank you for your help.
Oof stares at you darkly, as though uncertain whether to speak or fight. My past is my own, stranger. But for Bernard's sake, I will speak a little of it. Hopefully it's a little bit, and slowly, please. Know that I will only speak of Oof the Reaver. The one who existed before him no longer exists. For my first 5 years at the time of my birth, I wandered Rohan hiring me on the axe. One of my, after slaying a party of orcs in the Misty Mountains while I lay sleeping along the corpses of the foot. Anyway, he offered me a place among the retainers. Weary of wandering, I accepted and dwelt with them for many years, but I became restless once more and I had not spilled the blood of any foes in for a long time. With kind of burnout came along anyway, so here I am with the promise that my axe will reach distinctly up. Really? Really? Alright, fine. I will reread all these stories because I'm not able to keep track of them. Anyway, my father Baldig is a high-ranking retainer and the employee of Thrain Sparfalk of Fenmarch. My dream was to become a great warrior, but my father would have none of it. Instead, he pushed me into more peaceful pursuits, such as harp playing and storytelling. Boy, I think I think your father would have loved to be Horn's father instead. That's what I gotta say about that. Anyway, nevertheless, I found ways of training into arms, and by my 16th summer, I was proving myself by hunting and slaying a small patrol of orc scouts. Begrudgingly, my father allowed me to become Thane uh, Sparhafuk Squire, and 3 years ago I found myself at Aldburg as retainer of Lord Aomer. When word came of troubles of orcs in the east wall, Lord Aomer offered me a small command as a mission to harry the forces of the enemy, while the reeds could muster their strength. We met Hutha in the northern borders of the world, and he brought word from his cousin Twiga at Ethelberg that chilled the hearts and drove us south of here, our most urgent errand. You should speak with Hutha. He may speak in more detail of Twiga's tidings. And then I spoke with Oof the Reaver, who said, there we go. Oof the Reaver. Going through here is always tricky. Wait, he said quite a bit here. Here we go. Know that I will only speak of Oof the Reaver. The one who existed before him no longer exists. For the first 5 years from the time of my birth, I wandered Rohan, hiring out of the axe to anyone who needed heads to hewn, whether it be orc or Dunlending. One eve, after slaying a party of orcs out of the Misty Mountains, while I lay sleeping among the corpses at the foot of one of the Argonauts, I was awakened by Lord Aomer. He offered me a place among his retainers. Weary of wandering, I accepted and dwelt there for many years. But I became restless once more. I had not spilt the blood of my foes for a long time. Then Captain Burnoth offered me the opportunity to kill orcs. I could not refuse. So here I am, with the promise that my axe will drink more deeply before the end. Alright, that is the second one. And here we have Leofdog, who is the son of Vinedog.
You have done well.
Few care to know my tale, for it is one of shame. But if know you must, my beginnings were humble. My father, when an egg, was familiar with the fields of the sucrose. Anyway, I'm not going to go through this and read this. I'll just skip ahead until he's done. As for what Leofdog said, my beginnings were humble. My father, Winedog, was a farmer in the fields of the sucrose, and I was born to be the same. However, fate would have me otherwise. My father answered Aelmund of Aldburg's call to arms, and in glorious battle saved the Thane's life. As a reward, Aelmund granted my father's request for me to be squire to one of his retainers, and so I trained beneath Gartom, a fierce warrior and master of the spear. All right, that is where my shame began. One dark day I rode forth from Aldburg in the company of Aelmund and a handful of knights. Right? Uh, Aelmund wished to pursue a band of orcs that had been down several of the east wall, not far from my father's croft. That proved to be his undoing and mine. Our numbers proved too small, and the orcs overwhelmed us. I was the only man to survive among us, though I was wounded trying to save the Thane. In shame, I returned to Aldburg, bearing Aelmund's body upon my horse. Garmund exiled me to the settlement of Stangard in Erlesmead for 2 years, and even when I returned, he would have nothing to do with me. I considered surrendering my spurs and returning to my father's croft, but I could not bear the face of my younger brothers, and Aylmer, Aylmer's son, still valued my spear and my friendship, and there were other reasons to stay that surpassed all others. Burnoth, as well saw past my shame, and he became my captain. To death would I follow him, if it would renew my honor. Now you know my shame. Do not ask of me again. That's always strange that he considers that to be a major shame. Now, I know there is the whole thing about survivor's guilt and all that stuff, but it sounds like he was doing his best in that battle. And now we have Hutha, son of Hengist, who I believe brought the word about the Easterlings. Let's see what he has to say. My father, Hengist, was the chief knight of Thane Elda of Firion, though he has been dead these many years, slain by orcs. My father and brothers are very large and strong, traits which I clearly did not inherit, and the other children teased me mercilessly. Thankfully, my dear brothers were also my defenders. Alas for my father, for he would have given anything for me, like my brothers, to follow in his footsteps of Helm or Errol. But I honored a man of very distant relations more, Bard of Dale, who slew Schmog the Golden. Yes, I've heard of him. When I was 10 summers, I could feather a quail in the flight of 100 paces. By 12, I could do the same and splinter the first arrow with the second before the bird hit the ground. I think you're exaggerating slightly there on that second bit. My skill came to the attention of Lord Aylmer, and I was summoned to Aldburg at the age of 15, where I have spent my last 7 years in his service. I left Aldburg for Bernoth, Leofdag, and Ulf, but was quickly dispatched to scout ahead. Besides the orcs, I heard rumors of threats from beyond Rohan's borders. Aha! I went at once to Ethelberg into the Brown Lands and spoke with my cousin Twiga. He told me of a great force of Easterlings coming down from the cliffs to invade Rohan. I immediately sought out Bernoth in the wold and delivered Twiga's message. We determined then to ride through the Eastment and ward the reeves of the coming invasion. Harwick is our first destination, and I fear we will meet with little success here. Oh, fun. Yeah, I know, Harding isn't exactly known for his trusting nature. Now, we did meet Twiga and help him with the little quests against the Easterlings, of course. What do you say, Bernoth?
What brings you to these lands?
There's much more to tell, but not enough time for it. Perhaps at another time we may speak more freely. Oh, perhaps. Quite a story.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
You understand now somewhat of the Rohirrim and our mission. We are a closed people, and do not oft trust outsiders, but you seem a good sort. Believe me, it took me forever to get the trust of some of these people. Especially Harding. Oh boy.
The Rohirrim will need your aid.
For a stranger to these lands, you seem to have some freedom to move about. That speaks highly of you, Pineleaf. Perhaps you can be of assistance to me and my companions? We have been trying to secure an audience with Aldor Harding. Good luck! But he refuses to speak with us. There is no doubt that he knows already of the Easterlings upon his threshold, seeing that they destroyed one of his thanedoms already. I will presume he must know of them, for his men have engaged with them. But he knows not their true strength as we do. Will you go to the mead hall and speak with the Aldor? Perhaps he will listen to the warnings of one who has been further abroad. And I hear that you have already seen him. Yes, I have. Well, he does consider me a knight now. I will talk to him. I think you might have better luck with Sheelan, though not that she could help you much under the current circumstances. Hello, sir. How much do you know of the strength of the Easterlings that are amassing in the Brown Lands?
I do not believe you will find welcome here.
I know what message you would deliver on behalf of Bernoth and his riders, and it's futile. The strength of the Kundalar is not unknown to me. Already I prepare to defend the Eastmen from their advance, and I will die defending Rohan. In truth, I know this, for I have seen the omens. Go now, and leave me to my work. Oh, wonderful. All right, fine. He says, I know the strength of it. I'm preparing for battle. Well, at least that's good news. But he also is convinced that he's going to die in it. Harding says that A, he knows the strength of the Easterlings, B, that he is preparing for battle, and C, that he expects to die in such battle.
What brings you to these lands?
You say Aldor Harding believes he's going to die at the hands of the Kundalar Easterlings because of portents he claims to have seen? Then we have a difficult task ahead of us. Well, yes, we do.
Our success depends upon our strength.
Finally,
Will you aid us?
it seems to me that we must prove to Aldor Harding to be wrong if we are to impress the reason upon him. We must show him that a man can make his own fate. Not far from here, we came across an encampment of Easterlings. I'm confident that we can overcome them, despite their greater number. If we can accomplish this, then perhaps Harding will see reason and know that he can change his fate. Hopefully, he will send his people to safety, though he remains to shore up his defenses. Will you ride with us against the Kundalar? If so, let me know when you are ready and we will depart. So, what we have here is that Harding, while he is preparing for battle, he is not preparing an evacuation for his people. What are we going to do in order to convince him of the need for this? We'll have to see in the next episode of The Complete Pineleaf.